Professor Google here again. By now you should know how to enter the data into the spreadsheet. It is also important to know how to change the data once it has been entered. So we will now learn how to write over entries, edit in the formula bar, edit in cells, and undo edits you have made.
The simplest way to change an entry in a cell is simply to overwrite it. If I want to change the name in D1, I simply select the cell and then type in the new name and enter. However, that's not a very efficient way of doing things if you have long cell entries. Let's say we have an entry like the precious metal company. Now, say we want to change the word precious to semi-precious. It would be inefficient to overtype the whole of the entry, so let's just change the word precious by going up to the formula bar. I can simply double-click up there to select the word precious, and then I can change it to semi-precious. And then enter that new entry into the cell. It would probably help if I could spell properly too. But you can see the principle. Now that I want to correct that, let's look at another technique. We can simply double-click on the entry when it's in the cell itself rather than going up to the formula bar as we did previously. So double-clicking down here takes us into the cell directly. This is very useful when you want to edit things which are at the bottom of the screen or a series of items which are close together and you don't want to keep going up to the top of the screen for editing. So here we can click in and change the spelling and delete the offending character and put in IOUS and enter. So that's editing in the cell itself. Now, if you've made a change and you want to reverse that change, you can do so by using edit undo. Let's say, for instance, we went in and we removed once again this word semi. I'll just backspace it out and enter. And I say to myself, well, gee, I'd really like to bring that back again. We can go up to the edit menu and we can choose undo typing. Or we can use the little icons up here on the toolbar to undo. In fact, let's click on the little down arrow to the right here, and you'll notice that we can actually change way back to up to 16 items that we've put in by dragging down through here. So we can make a whole lot of changes. I just want to change that last one, so I'll click on just that one and change it back to Semi-Precious Metal Company. So, as well as doing that, once we've undone something, we can also go across to this icon or to the edit menu. Let's use the icon, and we can click on the down arrow and we can choose what we want to redo. So we can redo that change again. So there's quite a bit of flexibility there for quite a number of steps to undo what you've done and then redo what you've undone. Let's have a look at some other ways of editing. Sometimes what you want to do is to clear the contents of cells. To do that, select the cells that you want to clear, 1 or 2 or 3 or however many cells you want, and then you can go up to the edit menu and you can choose the clear option. Now we have various options here. We can clear everything out of the cells. That means the contents as well as the formats which are in that cell. We can also clear out comments, or we can selectively remove just the contents or just the formats in the cell. I'll click all in this case, and it's now removed that information from those cells. Now, in removing those cells, in clearing that data, we haven't actually removed the cells themselves from the spreadsheet. We've simply emptied them. And so we have another command which is edit delete, which will actually remove the cells completely. What I might do is just go back and click on the undo to bring that information back again. And now let's see the difference between the edit clear and edit delete. We go up to edit and delete this time, and it says, hey, what do you want to do with the cells? Because I'm now going to physically pull those cells out of the worksheet. And it says, do you want to move the cells up from underneath, or do you want to move in cells from the right-hand side and move them to the left? And in this case, I want to move the cells up, so I'll click OK, and notice that the information then has moved up to fill up the gap. Now, notice in the process here too, an interesting thing, I removed one of the cells which had a reference in this particular formula. It was originally the D4 cell, and it's turned to a reference error. So be prepared for those sort of things happening when you delete information from a spreadsheet. You could actually disrupt the formulas in the spreadsheet at the same time. And if we've done that accidentally and we want to undo it, of course we've got the good old undo button up here, and we can bring the information back again and save that situation. We have another way of erasing cells, which is quite handy, and that is we'll make use of the autofill handle, which is this little cross here. Now, we'll be looking at in a later section at what the main use is of autofill for creating information, but we can also use this autofill handle for erasing information. All I have to do is click with this mouse shape, drag backwards up over the information, let go, and it erases those cells. Notice it doesn't erase the comment that was down here in this cell. And of course, once again, if I want to bring that information back again, I can click on undo and bring it back.
Back again. I hope you now know how to edit the data in a spreadsheet. If you did not quite pick it up, perhaps you should